Welcome back. It's the last leg of tonight's Daily Rundown, and we're just about to hear from Mr. Mike Daweson because it has something to say. Mike, what are you bringing to the table?
Well, not having a TV, I kind of go onto kind of YouTube, you know,
right.
Just looking at kind of stuff and news stories.
Funny
and
cat videos. And
yeah, and YouTube is unfortunately really good at knowing the kind of stuff that you like, and so you can just bob on there, and if you're logged in, it kind of go, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this.
It's totally curated, isn't it? Though,
yeah, and I've become slightly kind of obsessed recently with this growing group of people, certainly in my world, in my YouTube world, who believe the Earth is flat.
What?
You know that?
There are real people who believe that these days.
Yeah. So it's obviously just in my world. But these people are...
I want to see a search history now. What are you Googling?
Yeah.
Go on.
So these people are making documentaries and films. They're getting airline pilots and all this kind of stuff. They are absolutely convinced that the Earth is actually flat. It's a flat disc like this tabletop, and the Antarctic and the South Pole is kind of around the edge, yeah, and and the North Pole is in the centre.
What?
And it's a conspiracy.
Whoa.
No, because that's why I say my world, because you seem surprised that this exists. This is what YouTube and Google has done. It's created this world for me where all these people have got all these videos, right? But the minute you search flat Earth on YouTube and
Which
Google,
I absolutely will as soon as we're finished.
They have got these people who are absolutely convinced the Earth is flat.
Now, who are these people? Are these coming from I don't know, sort of religious sort of situation, or? Well,
there was one guy I saw who was a religious guy. I think he was he might have been an Islamic guy, an Islamic preacher, who was talking about how the Earth doesn't spin and stuff, because obviously if it's flat it couldn't spin, could it? So it's basically just sitting there, this disc. And he was talking about how the Earth couldn't spin, because if it did, when you took off in a plane, you wouldn't. If you're going north to south, you wouldn't have to move. You just go up in the air, and the Earth would move underneath you. Okay, so if you ever look,
I'm just petrified that I'm going to agree with something. That's what my fear is here.
You agree with that?
That you're like, yeah, I've seen that.
I'm petrified.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. So maybe he's right. Yeah. So the fact there's obviously lots of scientists who come on and want to get involved, which is always great fun because there's debates and everything like that. And of course, Newton's laws of gravity and all that kind of thing determined, which hundreds of years ago determined how we got to the moon and back and stuff like that. So, oh no, we didn't get to the moon, did we? It was all a hoax. But yeah, which states quite clearly that everything's kind of relative to itself. Even though we're sat here, we're going something like, is it 1,200 miles an hour at this moment in time around the Earth, but we are static on the Earth because we're kind of part of it. And all those fun arguments I just love, but they make a lot of sense, because these guys think you can go up in a plane and see the curvature of the Earth, which is very difficult to do, isn't it? Because the Earth's pretty big.
Yeah.
So someone said, what about satellites? There's satellites. And they've gone, no, there's no satellites up there. Have you ever seen a photograph of a satellite? No, not in space. But I'm thinking, how could you? How could you see a photograph of a satellite in space? Who's going to take it?
Are there no photographs of satellites in space?
No, how could you take a photograph of a satellite in space? Is it like...
They find ways.
They sent Jack White from the White Stripes record up to be played there the other day. They must be able to send up a photograph to take a picture of a
Someone
satellite.
needs to go and take some
Take a picture
so,
to prove these guys wrong.
I think there are thousands of satellites up there doing all kinds of things, and their argument is, well, they would be all crashing into each other and stuff if they were really there.
What are these guys called?
The flat earthers.
Flat earthers.
Have a look.
Are they from the same kind? You know, like these survivalists, and are they the same kind of?
I think they are of an ilk. I mean, there are some kind of mischief makers, aren't they, who love to make mischief online with. Yeah. And it's easier and easier to do that these days with the technology that's available. But these guys are gathering more and more momentum online in my world, because obviously when you go on YouTube logged in, you don't see why. So.
I just go straight to funny cat videos. I thought everybody did. I thought that was the first thing you go straight into.
That fascinates me more than flat earthers.
Funny cats.
Funny cats.
How could you ever not be fascinated? That is fascinating, though. I actually am going to do a go. I just can't believe.
Check it out.
I mean,
and some of it's pretty convincing.
Yeah, I was going to say, surely the
stuff.
more of these you watch, the more likely you are to think, hey, let's see these guys well.
Yeah, they're awesome, but it's like watching 9/11 stuff, isn't it? You watch 9/11 stuff, and you know, you go, oh, wow, that sounds pretty convincing. That's unless you believe it was a conspiracy and that it was really a missile and all that kind of thing. Personally, not sure.
I think of all the scientists that will be spinning in their graves at this, though. Think that we've come to a point where we, stream videos and everybody can upload whatever they want, their opinion, onto a platform like YouTube, and they're telling people that the Earth's flat.
Yeah, and then we've got groups of people now who are showing all their own evidence of and there's many things to say about the Earth. It's like, I mean, it goes further. They're talking about the dome over the top and the stars and the planets being kind of outside the dome, which is something they used to believe in primeval times. They believed stuff like that. So so you can forget going to the moon and all that. And that never happened. Satellites are not up there, and you've got to watch it. It's awesome.
And the Earth's flat.
It's awesome.
We're going to Google these things after the show.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for that. I mean, I think because I know I'm going to lose many hours
Next
looking this up
time you get a plane
now.
it's going to bother you, isn't it?
I hadn't even got that far. Yeah, I've been looking at it. Oh, that kind of looks a bit flat, actually, when I think about it. Thanks very much for that, Mike. We've got a little bit of time left, so let's have a quick look at some of the more unusual stories that have been making the news today. I haven't seen any of these ones either, so it's just fresh for everybody. Someone has started an online petition for the post-Brexit passport to have all French removed from the cover. Dieu et mon droit, which means God and my right, appear on the royal coat of arms. But the bigger problem is that the word passport itself is derived from the French word passport. What do you think of this?
Where do they think?
What do you think of my French accents? It's pretty
yeah, I was actually really impressed. But where do they think the English language comes from?
First thing I was going to say.
Where? Yeah. I mean, even in the petition, I saw it, and the majority of the words in the sentence were French or of French origin.
Yeah.
They
the French language, a lot of it comes from Latin.
Yeah.
And then from Latin through the two European kind of languages, French. There's loads and loads of words that we could quite easily understand. We'd be left with nothing, probably, actually. If it sounds like, what newspapers come up with that one? That sounds kind of weird. We can look that one up later as well. When we're looking up the flat Earth, we haven't mentioned it there. Greater Manchester Police will be looking for a new social media intern after 2 officers' tweet had to be removed. The officers in question this will come back to our offence story now. The officers in question tweeted a picture of 2 men in Nazi uniforms with the caption, "These 2 likely lads trying to invade." What do you think of that, Madie? Is that offensive?
It's not for me to decide, it's for anyone to decide.
Who's it for to decide then, actually? Who do you think it is for?
Anyone. I don't particularly understand the context.
Why the police would tweet. It's a funny, you'd need to see the picture actually. It's quite a funny picture. It's just 2 guys dressed as Nazis. They had been to, I think, fancy dress. But this is the 3rd, I think, story that's come out of the police's Twitter account in Greater Manchester. Remember, there was one last year. Well, there was one where they went around, it wasn't actually, I think it was Yorkshire, where they went around people's houses and just started walking into the houses and took pictures and uploaded them to say, people should be more careful. This is how easy it was for the police to walk into your house. And obviously everybody went ballistic, as you would if someone took a picture of them in your house, because that's extremely creepy.
It is.
Yeah. What do the police just step away from the social media completely, or what's going on? Should they stop trying to get down with the real folk?
That particular, I don't. We want the police to kind of break down those barriers a little bit, don't they?
It feels like that's what they're trying to do, doesn't it, though?
I do think that's what they're trying to do, to have a bit of fun, dance with everyone at the dance routine at the carnival, and engage with young people and stuff, and there's a real big thing with this. I'm going to sound really stupid when I say this, but it's a really scary thing in any kind of media to mention the Nazis or Hitler or anything like that, because all of a sudden you feel, oh, I shouldn't have said that word. But I can see why that was
it carries
a bit
weight.
of fun, and that's not offensive to me. I just think it was a bit of fun, but that's just me. But who is it going to offend?
That's the thing. That's the thing. I guess people just think, just generally, the police should know better. But yeah, I think you're right, though. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't offended.
When is someone going to make a stand now?
Who's supposed to be? Who's supposed to be offended? Like,
and, you know, wouldn't you love the police commissioner to say, "Oh, get lost"?
He's not going to, is he? Guys, thanks very much, guys. That's all the time we have for. Thanks to Madie Howard and Mike Daweson. We'll see you tomorrow for another Daily Rundown. Good night.